Rajesh Kalappa, the government seems to think that this entire online chatter on E25, on E20, the fact that it drops your mileage, etc., and corrodes components of your cars is essentially an international conspiracy against India's fuel strategy. What does the Congress make of this?
See, Shreya, the first thing is, let me give you a very dear friend's personal, experience with this E20 issue. And he rides a scooter. And for the last 3 times, he has gone to the mechanic. And on each occasion, there is a water buildup in his tank. And that is because of the fact that this ethanol has a quality which absorbs water from the air because of its hygroscopic nature, right? And on 3 occasions he has gone and had this water withdrawn from the mechanic. And this is not just one isolated case. This is happening repeatedly. Now I ask myself the question, and I think your viewers should also think about this, that considering the fact that you're paying lesser, it's a fact that you may be paying lesser. But what about the damage it does to your vehicle?
Okay.
Are you willing to bear with that? Some people spend lakhs and lakhs to buy cars or bikes.
So you are saying this is not an international conspiracy? There are genuine concerns. You're saying this is no international conspiracy as the government seems to be suggesting it is. There are genuine concerns that are coming from consumers. I have seen some of these videos, and there are motorists putting these videos out and there are mechanics putting this video out, and they're showing you damages. Yep. And people are talking about their mileage coming down. Is that the standard experience for consumers who are using E20? Because now all of us are using E20 without having agreed to use E20. The government gave us no choice. But over the last 1 year, all of us are using E20. But is the experience all negative?
The experience, it's hard to say, because I think this should have been rolled out with a choice, that people would have understood what the pros and cons are when choosing E20 over E0 mix. But today, when people are complaining to social media, saying that my fuel lines are not working properly, my fuel pumps have conked off, at that point, I think calling it an international conspiracy seems a little bit of a stretch, because what does an individual have to gain by sharing their experience? Additionally, where does one go if at all they are facing an issue? Where do they go? They cannot complain at the fuel pump, and there's no way to share your experience other than social media. So I think there is some element of...
Subrata Sen-Gupta, if that is the experience of some people, should we be dismissing it? Because the fact is that all automakers we saw yesterday or day before yesterday, Manav, came together. All of them, India's biggest automakers, and said that all these concerns around E20 are not justified. It's misinformation. So there is something that automakers are saying, there is something that the government is saying, and then there is genuinely concerns from consumers. Can concerns from consumers be dismissed as an international conspiracy? A mechanic kya international conspiracy karega, Mr. Sen-Gupta?
So, no, I agree. See, the thing is that if there is a perception that something is not working, then there's always a tendency to exaggerate. But there are issues, right? So we can't ignore the fact that there are issues. And I completely agree that this should be a choice. And people are talking about more ethanol than E20, and that should always come with a trade-off. So currently, a major gripe is also the reduced fuel efficiency, and the excise benefit that has been given is actually not making economic sense with respect to the reduction in mileage. So, one way of doing this is you make the proposition attractive. At the same time, there are actually changes in the car that is needed to manage flex fuel vehicles. That needs to be rolled out. I mean, currently, you have Wagon-R Flex, the only vehicle which can handle flex fuel today, commercially available. So let more vehicles come in, then you can increase. It doesn't need to be hastened like this.